What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Flyers watch party. So basically, rematch from last night. Tonight, the Flyers will take on the Buffalo Sabres once again. Let's hopefully things are better than last night's 6-1 embarrassing loss right there. So it's hopefully we're going to get a good one. Hopefully, we are definitely going to get a good one. I'm Amadeo Grassi. You can follow me over at Twitter at Amadeo Gracia98. Also, go subscribe to my YouTube channel, TTP Sports. Also, check out the Flyer Up podcast. And we're definitely going to get an episode here in the next few days or so before the games against the Boston Bruins. But first, we got a game tonight, Flyers versus Buffalo Sabres. Kevin says right here, Brian Elliott is in net. Definitely go Flyers. Jameson in the chat. Hey, how is it going, Jameson? So for right now, I think it's only going to be me for the time being, but I think Tyson is eventually going to join. Chris was with us last night, but he is over at the Wells Fargo Center as a member of the media for Flyers Nitty Gritty, so some fun stuff there. So, how you guys feeling tonight? I guess you slept off last night's embarrassing loss. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section right there. Since it's really only going to be me, I want some real connection going on right here with the people in the chat. What are your thoughts, hopes for this game? Are you just going to take it game by game? Because we know the Flyers yesterday, they just got completely embarrassed, turned the puck over completely. They just looked flat out dead. And just going into this game, AV said he was embarrassed last night. And this team overall, they need to be better. The first two wins, they got away with a lot of stuff. Yesterday there was no exceptions. They just looked flat out terrible, and it's going to be interesting. It's really going to be interesting. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts going into this game. So do you think the Flyers are going to be playing a lot better? Do you think that was a wake up call? So like I said, it's mostly going to be me right now, but I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Just let's have some conversation going on throughout the game. I know, Kevin, you're definitely in there. Jameson, you're in there. So let's get the ball rolling. It's 7 o'clock. We're getting very close to puck drop. And I think for the lineups tonight, I think AV said there's only going to be a few changes in the lines. Maybe you flip-flop them a couple of places. The defensive pairings, there might be a little bit of flipping right there. Brian Elliott is the starter for the Flyers tonight. So it's going to be an interesting one. And if this is going to be the Flyers team from last year, we all know how much they bounce back so many times. So it's let's see what this team is made of right now. We definitely got to see that if they are going to bounce back, because that was the team they were last year. If they are that team still, they'll prove it to us and bounce back. Kevin, like you said, Flyers bounce back, and it's going to be a 4-2 win. So let's sit back, everyone, and enjoy Flyers hockey. It's going to be starting in a few minutes. Puck drop very soon. So how are you guys feeling? I know there's only a couple of you right now that are watching. Yeah, I know a lot of people couldn't join the watch party tonight, but hey, let's hang out, have a fun time. And I want to get your guys' thoughts and opinions on the Flyers right now, because we all know the first two games, the first two wins of the season, they scored a lot of goals. There was a lot of sloppy play. But when you go to last night's game, a lot of those mistakes that they were making in the first two games, they were just it felt like everything that could have gone wrong in last night's game went wrong, because there's so many things you can look into. Buffalo, they were 0-2 to start the season. They had probably a lot of energy coming into this game because they didn't want to lose 3 straight games to start the season. And if you're looking from the Flyers' perspective, okay, they are 2-0 to start the season. They made some mistakes in their 2 games, but we won those 2 games. So thinking right there, it's just that, okay, we made the mistakes, but we have won these games, so maybe we can still get away with it as we move on into the schedule. But last night proved that you can't get away with everything, right? What they did yesterday. So it's going to be interesting how the Flyers adapt to tonight's game. And it's going to be interesting to see what line combinations Alain Vigneault is going to put together, because we saw a little bit of that last night in the third period. You saw Travis Konechny going up into the first line with Kevin Hayes and Claude Giroux. You saw Morgan Frost move back down with Voracek and JVR. So I think it's going to be something. We're going to get a different Flyers team. I think that's what's going to happen right there. And Kevin saying Morgan Frost is going to score his first NHL goal. Actually, he scored like 2 goals last year, so it wouldn't be his first NHL goal. But first goal of the season, that would definitely be very nice. And they're just putting the line combinations up on the screen right now. So you got Claude Giroux, Kevin Hayes, Joel Farabee, Lindblom, Morgan Frost, and Travis Konechny. So they're keeping that line together. They're keeping the line of Nolan Patrick, JVR, and Jake Ford. They're basically keeping all the lines the same from what it looks like. So I would assume that all the defensive pairings are going to be the same as well, or unless they flip-flop a little bit of the defensive pairings. No, looks like everything is going to be the exact same. Everything the exact same. So I wonder how that's going to fare out. I definitely wonder that. And Lawrence talking about, I think they are talented, but they are not meshed. So that's one thing right there. This Flyers team, they're basically the same exact team from last season, just they lost a couple of pieces. They added Lindblom and Nolan Patrick. It's just the fact that it's the first so many games. There's a lot of rust. There's going to be mistakes. We're not going to overreact at this point. It's the first 3 games of the season. But this game definitely is going to showcase what the Flyers are most likely going to be this season if they bounce back from a terrible loss. So we got to wait and see if that team is the same team from last year. Bobby saying, yep, it is definitely time to bounce back. And then, so you are betting against the Flyers, Lawrence, right there. Oof. Hopefully they jinx it right there. So it's you took Buffalo plus 1.5 and over the 6 teased. Okay. Let's see. So anyone have any score predictions right here? I know Kevin said a 4-2 win, and Lawrence just said a 4-3 win right there. Kevin, you think Eric Gustafsson is going to score a goal? Hopefully you're right there. Hopefully you're right, because basically after the first game on those 2 power plays, when he got the primary assists, has been really invisible and has been clearly showcasing how bad he is defensively. So hopefully you're right there, Kevin. Hopefully you are right, and we're basically, I think, a couple seconds away from puck drop. So hopefully this is going to be a fun one. Hopefully it's not going to be the horror show that was last night. Man, it's just like when you watch that game yesterday, it was like, yeah, it was very frustrating, but it was just like, okay, this is what this game is going to be the entire night. There's no point to get mad, but yes, it's frustrating because okay, like you expected they weren't going to go 3-0 in the season. They weren't going to win every single game. But it was just like, oh, come on. Like, you got to lose in this type of fashion. Like, seriously. And then you get Bobby Stevens saying 5-3 is your final score for the Flyers. So hopefully, I'm seeing some positivity in the chat today. I like that a lot. Hopefully that positivity shows up for the Flyers tonight. Hopefully they can get a win and just bounce back from that terrible loss last night. So, a couple seconds away from puck drop. Let's get this game started. Let's get it ready. Let's prepare for this game, and let's sit back and enjoy. So I know, like, the past few watch parties, everyone's been talking about what I've eaten for pregame or something like that. But I want to know what you guys ate for pregame today. Like, did you take it easy for today's game, or did you try to go heavy for tonight's game? Like, were you more pumped for this game, or were you just taking it easy? I want to know. You see Brian Elliott in net for the Flyers. So, and it is Carter Hutton for the Buffalo Sabres. So he's getting back-to-back starts for them right there. And there's Sam Reinhart. I'm assuming Buffalo's starting the Jack Eichel line. So that's Reinhart, Taylor Hall, and Jack Eichel. So, come on, just drop the puck right now. Drop the puck. So, boys, let's see. Frustrating or an exciting game? We're going to find out right here. The Flyers starting the 4th line. Lawton Raffle and Albe Kubel out there. It was weird, too, because AV did say he was going to tweak the lines a little bit, but everything looks like it's just the exact same. So I wonder from the looks of it, he's trusting his lineup. Definitely. He's definitely trusting that lineup. And we always get the whistles to start off the game. Elliot, what are you doing? We definitely need a more energetic start than we had last night, though. And here comes Scotty Lawton. There you go. I like that. Lawton just comes up the left side, takes a shot on net. It's easy. That's what I want. Just get in, get your shots. Because the Flyers... Oh, Carter Hutton looks like he has a mask issue. What, do you take that shot right off the mask? Hopefully Chris doesn't get cursed out by one of the players today in the press conference. That was like the primary joke of last night. So hopefully that doesn't come to fruition. Man, but yeah, he was definitely excited. He was showing me pictures from his place. He has his own table out there in the stands. Nice setup though. He's excited. It's his first time. He definitely has a lot of the jitters right there, but gave him a couple of the tips yesterday, so hopefully he's good. Hopefully he's ready for this. Hopefully he's hopefully he's not going to cheer and curse during the game. Definitely don't want to show your Homer side. Up here come the Sabres. And one thing with this Buffalo team, they are fast. They have a very good top six. The Flyers just got to find a way to stop them. Because if you stop that top six, I feel like you can beat this Buffalo team. Or you should beat this Buffalo team, without a doubt. And it makes sense for them to start Carter Hutton again. He really didn't face that much yesterday, and he also gave him the win. So why not go back to them? Okay, Eric Gustafson bringing the puck up. Got the G line out there. And turning the puck over. Oh, boy. I like that Brian Elliott makes a amazing save to prevent from being a one-goal game. I hope that happens. Honestly, I don't hope that happens at the same time because that means we're playing poor defensively. So I hope that doesn't happen at all. And then Lauren saying super cool for Chris's situation right there. Yeah, man. For Flyers nitty-gritty, I'm also a part of them too. I've written one or two things for them. Jamie Bascal, a really great guy. And Chris has a lot to thank for Jamie Bascal giving him that process. And Jamie even said maybe even one of the games during the season I could even go as a media member. So that's definitely going to be something fun. Because when I went to Temple, I was a part of their like their Comcast sports station. So I covered a couple of their sporting games. I covered like a couple of men's basketball games. I covered a women's basketball game, some lacrosse games. Then I covered one of the bowl games, I think, during the last, I think it was the bowl game against North Carolina or something like that, the Military Bowl. I think that was the last game I covered for them. Okay, offensive zone start. She's sending it on the net. I wonder, was G out there for the offensive zone faceoff? I wonder. Also, I wonder if Alain Vigneault is going to tinker with the lines during the game. Maybe he starts off with just the same things, and then eventually, as the game goes on, he maybe confuses Buffalo a little bit with the matchups. So maybe that's something Alain Vigneault will do. Yeah, because what Bobby said, I saw Frost out there with JVR and G. So maybe that's something Alain Vigneault is going to do throughout the game. Just mix up the lines, get Buffalo off their game. Maybe he'll do that with the defensive pairings too, because I want to see Phil Myers with Ivan Provorov. That's the pairing I've been wanting to see since the first game. And I think that's going to be the pairing, I think, when all the lineups are like, when you finally have like your right matchups and stuff like that. So maybe Phil Myers will eventually get the call for that first pairing, but right now I think it's still Provorov and Braun. Unless I am mistaken, because Haig is out there, and I think that is Gustafson. So right now the defensive pairings are still the same. And while you're at it, people, if you're new joining these streams, and we be doing watch parties for the Flyers, for the Sixers, and we have a ton of stuff here at TPL. So if you're new to this and you're just joining for the first time, definitely hit that subscribe button. Follow TPL, the Painted Lions, everywhere. A lot of great stuff here. Sadly, not a lot of other people weren't able to join the stream today, so mainly you're just going to be with me. I know Tyson said he might join eventually, but I'm not entirely sure yet, and the Flyers are taking a penalty right there. Yeah. So Buffalo to the power play. Looks Robert Haig with Holding, interference? Yeah, I would say interference. Not a good start. Got to kill this penalty off, boys. Buffalo's got a little bit of a setup going right here. Let's see if the guys can kill it off. Gotta get the puck out of the zone, boys. Oh boy, one time. Ooh, how'd he miss that? Flyers got away with one right there. Whew. Had Olofsson set up with a wide open net. I'm not sure if it got deflected or hit a stick or he just completely missed the net. We got Raffle chasing after the puck. Oh, Hutton came out to play it. Damn. Is there another power penalty on the Flyers? What did they do? What did they do? High stick. The high stick. When did Raffle high stick someone? What is going on? Oh my God, Roth. Keep your stick on the ice. Are you serious? Oh, Provorov got a piece of that shot from Olofsson. But 5-on-3 early on in this game, definitely something you don't want to see. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. This is the first time the Flyers will have a 5-on-3 against this season, so hopefully they can figure out a way to kill this off. This will be huge for them. Nice save, Elliott. Whew. Okay, they're setting up real quick. We got 18 seconds left in the 2-man advantage. I don't like this setup. Ooh, nice block. Get it out. There you go. Oh, we almost had a breakaway right there for. If that was a breakaway for Robert Haig, I would have laughed. Okay, 45 seconds left on this regular power play. Flyers need to kill this off. If they do, that's huge momentum. And that was a terrible clearing attempt. What the hell are you doing? Well, get over there. Go. Hey, Jack Eichel with the puck. I don't like that. Ristolainen playing it with Reinhardt. 17 seconds left on the power play. Come on, boys. Kill off. Get that puck. Come on. Get it out. There you go. There you go. Well, killed the power play right there. That's good. It's really good. Brian Ellie had to make a couple of saves right there too, but he looked pretty good. That penalty kill looked pretty good. Come on, boys. Let's bring it up. Albie Cabell. Braun tipped the shot from the point, and Hutton with the save. Is this going to be our first commercial break? Maybe not. Okay, boys, let's draw some momentum right here. Get off the power play. Let's get some momentum. Got to pressure him, man. That better not be a penalty either. Come on, Lindblom. Someone driving the net. It was Haig driving the net too. Haig getting up in the offense. What, TK? You gotta hit the net, boys. Oof. Okay, who broke their stick? Come on, ref, get out of the way. JVR with the puck. Yeah, Frost is out there with JVR and G. So Lane Vigneault's shaking up the lines basically at the start of the game. Let's get up. And JVR couldn't get at the G. Yep, out of play and commercial break. So, don't like taking those too early penalties right there, but honestly, not. It wasn't as bad as the start as it was last night. So, there's something right there. There's a little bit of a positive. Wasn't as bad as last night. As my cat comes downstairs and the other cat chases him down. Yep. What Mark said, big bounce back game. Yeah. I guess what are your thoughts through the first, I would say, 10, 12 minutes of this period? I think it's been, honestly, not even 10, probably 8, I would say. So I know the penalty wasn't the best. The 2 penalties, honestly, weren't the best to take, but they killed them off. Maybe they could drive some momentum off that. That's definitely something they need to do, control the pace of play. Because honestly, even through the first 3 games of the season, there were a lot of instances where they just didn't control the pace. They just were opportunistic and were managed to score on their chances. Yesterday was definitely not an example of that. They just didn't control the pace of the entire game. It was basically Buffalo. So hopefully the Flyers can find something to generate here. Yeah, Mark, what you said, it is definitely hard to beat teams back-to-back. And the Flyers last year, when they would lose a game, they would come right back the next night or whenever their next game was, and they would bounce back. This team last year showcased how good they were at bouncing back in games. So this game is going to be a showcase of, okay, is this still the same team that knows how to bounce back? So they're going to showcase this to us right now. Not the best of starts, but it's not as bad as it was yesterday. And like yesterday, it can't get any worse as last night. I don't think that is possible. I still think this Flyers team is really good. There's just a lot of things they need to tweak out. Whether that's chemistry right there or just the defensive pairings, maybe you got to shake them up. But like I said, I still think the Flyers are the better team in the division, and it's going to be a long season, even though it's a shortened season. Okay, we got Kevin Hayes with Farabee and Voracek. So basically, I think Alain Vigneault flip-flop G and Voracek. And I think he put Patrick on the line with Lindblom and Konechny. So he's definitely switching a few people up. Come on, boys, we got to bring it up. Gustafson, what are you doing? Oh, boy. Venture back there. Skate. On Joel. Okay, get it in deep. Well, battle there, Haig. Oof. Nice block. Icing. And there's your General DraftKings commercial right there. Okay, boys, let's win this face-off. Got a puck on net. And they didn't win the face-off. Nice. Well, don't take a penalty, Braun. Oh, now it looks like Haig is out there with Braun, so maybe he's switching the defensive pairings up a little bit. Couldn't get it to connect me. Let's get it up. You got Buffalo chasing up a little bit. Oof. Get the puck, get the puck. There you go, Patrick. Get it out. Oh, is there a penalty on Buffalo? Better be a penalty on Buffalo. That should be a penalty. Hopefully it is. It's weird listening to the game with like barely any sound. So I don't know like what's happening with the Okay, the Flyers going to the power play. Let's get a goal here. Wake up a little bit. Bless you. Okay, we got Hayes, Voracek, Konechny, Gustafson, and couldn't tell. I think that was Farabee. Bless you. Flyers power play is 30% to start the season, which is tied for 7th in the league. Come on, boys, bring it up. Jake, what are you doing right there, buddy? Can we please get it into the zone? And you went offside. Yeah, Steve. Yesterday, just a bad game. Just a bad game overall. Very, very bad game. And this power play, the start off does not look promising. Once again, the Flyers look like they struggle with transition. And especially not winning the face-off to start off your power play is a major key into that. Flyers cannot drive the zone and dump and chase. I don't understand that. Why would you dump it right to the goaltender who can just play the puck and clear the zone? And Buffalo's playing keep away. Oh boy. Can we please set it up, please? Put on net. And of course, he saw that all the way. Win the face-off. On Hayes. There you go. Why is Jake on the left side? And that goes out of play. Come on, Eric Gustafson. On his face-off, boys. Don't know what that attempt was. And you don't win the puck battle. Flyers don't look quick to the puck right now. Come on, Jake, bring it in the zone. There. Why can't you just do that consistently? Just get into the zone. Sadly, it was at the end of the power play. And now Buffalo has a chance going the other way through round two. Nice save, Elliott. Buffalo not getting as many chances as they were at the beginning of the game yesterday, but the Flyers just they look very sluggish on that power play. Just struggled getting the puck into the zone, struggled to set up, struggled to get shots in, struggled to get traffic on those shots. It's just they need to get better. But I would still say this is definitely 10 times better than what was last night. I think any game could top what last night happened. Oof. I think any start you could have had would top last night's. It's just last night's game was just like so like bad. It was just like bad from head to toe. And they just need to be better. That's just the flat point right there. They need to be better. Yeah, it really sucks that Kattori is out for 2 weeks because there are a lot of moments where it looks like they miss him. And now you got Gritty dressed up as I guess that's just a puppet or Pinocchio. Flyers are the second worst team with shots on goal this season, and that's not a good thing. Because if you look at it last year, the Flyers were one of the best teams with shots on goal, and they were one of the best teams with shots against. Basically, that stat has flip-flopped for the first 3 games of the season. They need to start shooting more. You got to get into the zone. You got to get your chances. Nice save, Elliott. One thing, Elliott does look good to start this game. At the bright side. Ooh, we almost turned that puck over. And it's weird. When the other team right now turns the puck over, it doesn't feel like the Flyers are like quick to jump on it right this second. Like they need to find a way to get those turnovers, generate chances, because right now they're not doing it. And when they do take shots, they're getting blocked. Right now, it looks like it's Sanheim with Provorov. So the defensive pairings are getting switched up a little bit. Come on, Sanheim. Clicked over to the Washington-Pittsburgh game. Washington is up 1-0. Pittsburgh only has one shot. And then Steven follows that up with, Pittsburgh, they are on the downfall. That is a definite thing right there. They are on the downfall. I still only say just watch out for Pittsburgh because they have Crosby and Malkin. But Pittsburgh, they are a team that's most likely on the end of their ladder, on the end of the tail. And then once you see Crosby and Malkin, either they go to a different team when their contracts expire or they just flat out retire, Pittsburgh's going to be bad for a while. Because of what Jim Rutherford has been doing with trading away their first-round picks, Pittsburgh's going to be bad for a while. They're basically going to be in that stretch that they were in before they got Crosby. Ooh, puck took a weird bounce off the boards. And like, even though it is the first 3 games, I know there's like quite a few people that are projecting the Flyers to either make the finals or win the Stanley Cup this year. I still don't see that, in my opinion. I still think this team is maybe 1 or 2 years away, just because a lot of the players on this team are still very, very young. That's one of the reasons why I don't think this team is quite there yet. I do think they'll be there in a year or two. Nice save, Elliott. Oh my God, Elliott. Wait, who was the one in the chat that called Elliott with the save? Was it Kevin? Yep, Elliott makes the one save. Kevin, where are you at? Come on, boys. You gotta help your goaltender out right there. He just made a lot of 10-bell saves for you. Got a goal for him. Shots aren't getting through. For some reason, they're not going through. But Elliott, oh my God. Elliott just, come on, hey, run, Ruff. Couldn't find the pass, but I do like what he's trying to do, drive the net. Just couldn't get around Hutton. Okay, the pace is starting to pick up a little bit. Can't be doing his behind the back passes right there. Come on, bring it up. Bring it up. Okay, I like this pace a little bit. Come on, turn the puck over. Come on. There you go, G. Come on, get it up. Come on, JVR. And you're not doing anything. Come on, there should be a penalty. Oh! Put it on net. Ristolainen literally burying Giroux into the boards when he has no sign of the puck whatsoever. Should be an obvious penalty. They're not calling anything. Ridiculous. But action is starting to heat up a little bit. Definitely is. Oh my God, Brian Elliott. Those saves, man. I think he barely got that too. He got like the top of the pad. Every Penguin employee except Lou Angotti and Eddie Johnston admitted to purposely tanking for Lemieux. I can believe that. I can really believe that. I can really believe that Pittsburgh like purposely tanked for Lemieux. I think that probably would be the obvious thing. Because Pittsburgh, like throughout their entire history, yeah, they have 5 Stanley Cups, but they've also had a lot of terrible moments when they filed for bankruptcy. And who knows what happens when they eventually lose both Malkin and Crosby. Yeah, Ristolainen literally just grabbing onto Giroux, hooking him, and then when Giroux is on his legs, he buries him into the boards. Giroux has no puck. The ref is looking directly at him. I have no idea what the ref is calling right there. I don't like it. I don't. And Ristolainen did that yesterday too. He had like 3 big hits yesterday's game. I think one against Voracek and against a couple of other players too. Ristolainen is just being a bully out there to us. Got Oscar Lindblom talking about the fans. I like that. Wonder how the action is like there for Chris. I wonder if he's trying to like conceal like all the excitement that he has right now. I do like what the Flyers are doing. They're allowing like a first responder family to come into the games. It's a little nice touch there. Man, but this period did feel like it flew by a little bit. Come on, TK. Drive the zone. Drive the zone. Ooh. Ooh, I like that wind up. Come on, boys. Help your team out. Let's bring the puck up. Go, 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 go. And you're at the end of the shift. Get over there. Come on. Come on. Ooh, connecting, getting into a little of a. We are getting our chances, though. I think that's one of the bright sides right now. Gotta get out of this period, boys. Try to get a goal or just get out of this tied. Offside. Yep. Flyers gotta stop throwing turpentine on the painted lines watch parties. I mean, the first two games, they were fun. They were exciting. It was just last night that was terrible. Flyers have 7 hits to Buffalo's 3. So the Flyers are throwing the body more. Turnover in front of Elliott. He makes the save. Oh, my goodness. Oof, that wasn't good. And it was Gustafsson again. He tried to clear in the puck. It went off Myers. Oof. Elliott already has 10 saves this period. And that's icing. Bryant's Elliott's career versus the Sabres. He's 13-2-2, a 1.89 goals against, 937 save percentage, and 2 shutouts. Please don't jinx the rest of the game with that graphic, boys. Win this faceoff. Come on. And you don't. Take the puck there. There you go. Come on, push up on that. Help him out. Almost at the end of the period. We're almost there. The face-off, there you go. Did we get control? No, we did not. Don't know what we were trying to do. Frost put jump on that. Come on, get that ice. Come on, come on. Nah, it goes right on Elliott. And Gustafson. Okay, no, he didn't. JVR. Come on, Proby. Eight seconds. There we go. And period's over. Definitely better than yesterday. Lindblom is limping after that block shot. He's a warrior. He'll be fine. And Bobby says, I've always find it fascinating how certain players have like great stats or records against just one team over the years, even though there's always a turnover of the roster. I guess Elliott just likes playing against Buffalo. I guess that's where he got his first win in his career. So I guess like, hey, I like playing against this team. I always have the confidence or something like that. There's always like a lot of those players that just have like another team's number. I know like Crosby, even though Crosby is one of the best players in the world, he has the Flyers number night in and night out. I'm trying to think of other teams too that like had the Flyers like number. I know like if you're looking at an overall team, like if you look back into like the early 2000s, basically throughout the 2000s, the Devils were that one team the Flyers could just never figure out how to beat. And going back to like that Eastern Conference Finals, what was it, like 2000 or 2001, where they blew the 3-1 series lead to the Devils? So, overall thoughts of this first period. Definitely 10 times better than yesterday. Without a doubt. Right now, the pace is a lot better. The overall game is a lot better. They just need to find a way to get some chances and score. Brian Elliott has made a lot of great saves for them, and Kevin made that one point. Really great point, though. He said he predicted it right. Elliott was going to make a great save to prevent the Buffalo from making it 1-0. So that was a great prediction right there by Kevin. Man, just like it's. And I still just think about yesterday. It was just like one of those games where you just did not have it, even though like Buffalo just like completely played us to our weaknesses. But the team, they got to find a way. They got to find a way to overcome that. They got to find a way to adjust. And like I said, I still think this team is one of the better teams in the division. They just got to adjust. And this team did that a lot last year. They adjusted, they adapted, they bounced back. So hopefully this is one of those situations. When Berube scored that goal in Game 4, I thought they were going to the Cup Finals in 2000. I was like only 2 years old during that series, so I have no memory of that whatsoever. My father probably does, and he probably hates that series with a passion. So I'm sure a lot of Flyers fans that were old enough to remember that series definitely hate those are like one of their series that they hate the most. The series against the Devils where they blew the 3-1 series lead in the conference finals. And then Game 7, Scott Stevens hit Lindros. Then Bobby says Flyers are playing better. Love that they started with the hitting. Now we need to start crashing the net, get some ugly goals. We're always looking for the pretty goal. Yeah, that is one thing I would have said. There are a lot of instances where this team tries to be a little too cute, just very cute when they're trying to get their goals. They just got to crash the net. They got to get just the dirty goals. They got to get the greasy goals. You got to find a way to score. the pretty. They don't ask how you do it; they just ask how many. It was a Berube deflection to make the game 4-1. And like I said, I am too young to even remember that. I was only 2 years old or 3 years old at that time. Like I can remember like some older playoff series. I can remember because like one playoff run that I was really intrigued by was the 03-04 Flyers team when they lost to Tampa Bay in the conference finals, and how banged up that Flyers team was. And just like a lot of people that said that if that Flyers team wasn't so injury riddled, they would have won the cup that year. My father told me that a couple of times before. Ken Hitchcock even said that too. If the Flyers weren't so injury riddled during that playoff run, they would have won the cup. And like other playoff series, I remember I think it was the year like post the lockout 05-06 where they lost to Buffalo in the first round. I think that was like the first year Peter Forsberg was on the team. And then the 06-07 season where the Flyers were just absolutely terrible and they lost out on the first overall pick because of the lottery. So they didn't draft Patrick Kane. And then the following season where I think that was the first year of Paul Holmgren being the general manager, just going out and signing all the free agents possible and making a ton of trades. Bringing in Hartnell, Tiemann brought in Danny Briere on the contract, John Lupul, Martin Biron. I think who else was a part of that team? I think Jason Smith or something like that. That was a while ago. And that team's playoff run was really good too. Beat Washington in 7 games, even though they did blow the 3-1 series lead during that. Beat the I think Montreal was the President's Trophy team that year. They beat Montreal in 5. And they lost to Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh was just overall a better team. I'm trying to think too, like the 08-09 season. They lost to Pittsburgh in the first round, and that was just those were like the 2 years where Pittsburgh and Detroit met in the Cup Finals like 2 years in a row. Detroit won the first one, Pittsburgh won the second one. And then the dreaded 2009-10 season where the Flyers lost to the Blackhawks. But just like that because that was the first year we were season ticket holders. And I just remember that playoff run so vividly. I think it was because we were at all of those home games, and just like it was funny too. I think it was during the Boston series. It was game 7. We originally weren't home in time to like catch the beginning of the game because when I was in middle school, we had I was in the orchestra group and we had this competition at Six Flags, and we were at Six Flags the majority of the game. And when we left, that was like right around when the game was stopping. And I remember it vividly too because it was like thunderstorming. It was like torrential downpour when we were driving home from Jersey. And then all I can remember was my dad and my teacher were listening to the Flyers game on the radio. And then you just remember that Gagne goal in game 7. And then that entire series against Montreal. And sadly, it ended all in game 6 of the finals. Yeah. What are you talking about the 07-08 season where you lost respect for Carter, or was it the 09-10 season when you lost respect for Carter? That's what I'm a little because I know during the 09-10 playoff run, Carter got injured, I think, during the Devil series, or he got injured during the beginning of the Boston series. I know a lot of people during those series they got injured, and that's why Ville Leno had to step in. And then you saw the Ville Leno, Danny Briere, and Hartnell line just go off. And also, to your point there, yeah, Jason Smith was a 1-year captain. Yeah, that was an odd choice. And was it the next year Richards became the captain or something like that? And then you also made the trade for Pronger a couple of years after, and then he eventually became the captain when you traded off Carter and Richards. Oh, you're talking about the 08-09 season, okay. No, because I remember in Game 6, the Flyers went up like 2-3-0, and then Dan Carcillo takes a fight with Max Talbot, and then Pittsburgh has the momentum for the rest of the game. And that was one of those situations where Carcillo shouldn't have taken the fight, but he did, like an idiot. And then, like, when you go to the 2010-11 season, where the Flyers were one of the better teams in the NHL that year, and then once the playoffs arrived in Bobrovsky, that was the first year of Bobrovsky as the starter for the Flyers. And he was good that season, good as a rookie, but just over the course of the playoffs, the Flyers just didn't get goaltending at all. Peter Laviolette consistently switching from Bobrovsky to Boucher to Michael Leighton. Oh my God, that was definitely a playoff to forget. Even though they won that series against Buffalo, it just watching like that series against Boston in round 2, just getting swept. It's funny too when you think about that, about the reverse sweep in 2010, where we came back to beat Boston, and then you look at Boston's run in 2010-11, the following year. Every series besides the Flyers, they went to 7 games. The Flyers were the only series that was less than 7, and they swept the Flyers. So that kind of stung a little bit, but you can understand why the Boston swept the Flyers. Because they were so pissed off from the following year getting reverse swept. You know they were going to come out for blood. And Kevin talking of the Mets GM got fired. Yeah, that's an awkward situation. That's a terrible situation. What came up of him, I definitely don't want to talk about it. That's just like absolutely disgusting what happened. And yeah, Kevin, your prediction was right, because Brian Elliott did have to make a big save. So you got that one prediction right. And then Steven saying the Flyers shouldn't have been down 3-2 in Game 6 against Buffalo. Yeah, that series was weird. That series was absolutely weird. I think they got shut out in Game 1. They won Game 2 and 3. Buffalo won Game 4 and 5. Flyers won Game 6 and 7. That was just a weird series. Yeah, I agree with you. The Flyers did it to themselves that year. A lot of people, even at the beginning of that season, they predicted Flyers in Vancouver in the finals. And yeah, Vancouver made the finals, but Flyers didn't. And it was weird because it was, I think, who did Boston? I think Boston played Montreal in the first round. Then they played the Flyers. Then they played Tampa Bay out of all teams. A very young Tampa Bay team that was just like you didn't expect to be there to begin with. And they took them to 7 games, so that was an odd series. Like, just imagine if the Flyers at least had competent goaltending and they just overall played better, would they have been to the Stanley Cup Finals that year? But that's just like another what if scenarios right there. Then Bobby says, random question, but my friend just texted me. If you could be a GM of any hockey team based on talent, which team would you pick? That's tough. GM of any hockey team based on their talent. I honestly say the most talented team right now in the NHL has to be Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is still the team to beat, I think, in the NHL. Even though they lost Kucherov, that team is still completely talented from top to bottom, even on the blue line and also in the net. I would be the GM of Tampa Bay. That must be a nice situation to be in when your team is that good. And they're going to have an easy time during their division. That division is just screaming Tampa Bay to win it, without a doubt. And Kevin asking a Phillies question right here. Why not? Talk some Phillies too. Who will be the next guy to be signed by the Phillies other than JT and Didi? I honestly do think JT is eventually going to fall to the Flyers just because I don't think there's another suitor out there for him that's going to pay him what he wants. No one's really going to pay him what he wants, and I feel like the Phillies are the closest thing to that. So I feel like the Phillies just are going to luck into signing him. And I honestly hope they do re-sign Didi Gregorius because I did like what Didi provided for us. I don't want Gene Segura as the starting shortstop for us because if you're in that situation, that means you have Segura at shortstop, Kingery at second base, and that's not really an ideal situation. You would rather want, if you re-sign Didi, you put him at shortstop, you put Gene at second, and Rhys Hoskins, if he's okay for the start of the season, you put him at first base, you put Bohm at third base. And if Rhys is not good for the start of the season, you put him at first. It's a tough situation with the Phillies, though. It really is. The biggest Flyers is wait. The biggest Flyers what if is, and your dad will tell you, if Tim Kerr wasn't hurt in '87 playoffs and Dave Poulin, they would have taken the Oilers down. So, Dad, this one person asked a question, but he says you can answer that. If Tim Kerr and Dave Poulin weren't hurt in the '87 finals, would they have beat Edmonton?
In the '87?
Yeah. If Kerr and Poulin weren't hurt.
Well, it's kind of hard to tell with that last game. I think they would have had a much, that last game they got sort of shut down in the seventh game. I mean, they competed in all the other games. I don't know if they would have. I can't. Yeah, I think they had a better chance to win. I don't know if they would have won, like in 6 games. I still think it probably would have went 7, and the 7th game would have been a better shot for them to win. I just think they were I think they were worn out in the 7th game because they had to come back from 3-1, and all that energy was expanded.
Yeah.
And they didn't have anybody to score any goals. So yeah, I mean they could have. It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, you were going up against the team that was going to be dominant for years to come. But yeah, I think so. I mean, there was probably a couple other guys that were all playing banged up.
And Bobby says, going back to his other question, he would have he also would have taken Tampa Bay, and he also said Ottawa for the young talent. Honestly, if it's another team besides Tampa Bay, I would go with Colorado. Colorado has a lot of young talent too, and the one thing that is with Colorado right now is their they have a lot of forward talent. I don't think they're as deep as a lot of teams in the year, but they have a lot of top end talent, and the blue line top end talent. But the rest, I think going down the way is a little bit iffy, especially. I think Grubauer is a good goaltender. I don't think he's the goaltender that can get them over the top. So I still think Colorado, they're maybe like a year or so away. They need a goaltender, in my opinion, to get them over the top. The one thing I can say with the Flyers, they have their goaltender, and that's Carter Hart. And I'm trying to think about it. In the 2011-2012 season, where Brizgalov, you had the breakout year from Claude Giroux. Even though Claude Giroux the season before he had a really good year, I think he had like 70 plus points, but the next season was like really his breakout into being one of the better players in the league. It was just it was a good season, but the playoffs, that ending to the playoffs was just so bad. It was so bad. And then Kevin saying he wants Trevor Bauer. The Phillies aren't signing Trevor Bauer, sadly. That's not going to happen. I think John Middleton's willing to cough up money to bring JT back. He's not willing to pay Trevor Bauer what he wants. Then Steven's saying Tim Kerr also hurt his shoulder in the '85 playoffs, their best weapon against the Oilers twice. This team is a lot like the '85 Flyers, and that future is highly bright. Then Lucas asking a question, do you do Sixers? See, my thing with the Sixers is I know basketball, but like in terms of my knowledge of the all 4 Philly teams, it'll be Flyers are number 1, Phillies are 2. I would say Eagles are 3, Sixers are 4. I know things that are revolved around the Sixers, but my knowledge like still isn't to where I think it should be with them, if you know what I mean. But I can still like talk basketball like on a casual standpoint. I can discuss it. I just can't go like deep into analyze like a lot of people do. And being a GM of Tampa Bay or Colorado is probably the same feeling of being LeBron's coach. LOL, sit back and kick the feet up. I definitely agree with that right there. Well, it looks like we're having a second period about to start in a couple seconds. Let's hopefully it is a better period. Hopefully. We definitely needed chip in a goal early here, I think. Bauer wants. Oof. I don't think he wants like I would assume like maybe even somewhere near what Cole's making for the Yankees. He definitely wants to get in that range, but who knows with the pandemic and everything going on with the offseason, he most likely is not going to get up to that range, but it's still going to be, I think, very expensive, most likely in the 20 mil range, like 20 to 25, even maybe even more expensive. That's why I just don't think the Phillies are going to go after him. I mean, yeah, that's definitely perfectly fine. I feel like that's where a lot of Philadelphia fans are too, with their sports knowledge. A lot of people like this city is more of a basketball, football city. A lot of people are going to be more fans of the Sixers and the Eagles. And then, yeah, you're going to have your Phillies fans, you're going to have your Flyers fans, but I feel like it's really the more diehard people that are for the Phillies and the Flyers rather than just your casual fan. Because I think with the Sixers and the Eagles, you can attract a more casual fan. With baseball and hockey, maybe hockey you can attract a casual fan more, but I don't think baseball you can. Baseball and hockey is more diehard. In terms of years, Bauer definitely probably wants maybe a long-term deal. Who knows? Maybe he goes with a shorter-term deal. Maybe he tries again in a different offseason, but I would assume he wants more long-term. Come on, boys. Let's get her going. Then you got Ristolainen literally going after everyone once again. You gotta step up to him. Don't show that you're afraid. And look what Albert Kubel did. He fought right back against him. That's what they need to do. If he's going to push you around, you just show you're not afraid. Ooh, nice. Ooh. Ooh, Hutton's hurt. I think. He may. No, he's not. He's good. But I do like that from Provorov, driving the net. Ooh, Montour pushed him right into Hutton. Honestly, that should be a penalty on Montour.
I love when the guy hits them and then they go after the guy. He goes after him after he hit him into it.
He better be getting a penalty for that. Literally, he's pushing him into his own goaltender, and then he goes after him in the net. Like, what did Provorov do? Wonder if Hutton's good to stay in the game. Yeah, he's good. I completely agree with you. There should have been a penalty. LeBron literally bounced right over his stick. Ooh, nice save. We're getting a little bit of energy, though. The one thing is they're better pace to start this period. I do like that. We just can't let them get their chances. Okay, they went offside. Good. On battle back there. Oh, thought there was going to be a penalty right there. Good. Wasn't the penalty. On Patty. We're getting into our spots because it's literally just bouncing off our sticks. On TK. I would say this line with Konechny, Patrick, and Lindblom, they have some chemistry, though. I'll admit that. Oh my God, what a save by Hutton. JVR has to bury that, but that's a fantastic save. Oh, he got the stick, the skate blade on it. Oh my God. He literally just threw his leg out there and got it. Man, that's a great save. That is a fantastic save. Let's get up, boys. Come on. A little bit of a voice crack there, too. Come on, don't lose the battles. Come on, get over there. Bring it up. And you ice the puck. Nice. Yeah, that was just a fantastic save by Hutton. Can't do anything about it. Like, you would wish JVR elevated the puck more, but that's just a great save by Hutton. Great save. Come on, boys, get up. Skate up, Nick. Yeah, I would agree. They are getting in the right spots, but it's just like when they do get in those right spots and they do have their chance, the puck kind of either bounces off their stick, they miss the pass, or they flub a little bit. So they're getting there. They're just not quite there. And yeah, I think once there is a goal, I think that's when you start seeing the confidence. When this face off, there you go. On Jake, get in there. I like that attempt. I do. Wait, why did I feel like I heard Jim Jackson say the Flyers have 5 defensemen? Well, am I right on that? Did Jim Jackson say the Flyers have 5 defensemen? Or am I hearing things? Because I am not sure what happened. There's Sanheim. There's Braun. So Sanheim, that's Hake with Braun, not Sanheim. I'm trying to think. Let's skate. Come on. Oh, G. Man, I just wish G had some of that speed that he had back in his prime. Sanheim's out there. Wait, don't tell me Myers is hurt now. Yeah, because I'm seeing you guys in the chat saying it might be Myers. Oh God. I know I heard Jim Jackson say they now have 5 defensemen. It's just another thing we need. Nothing major though. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully just banged it up a little bit. Icing, that should be icing. What? No, because it went right to Elliott. Commercial. This game is flying by, though. I would say that. I think that happens when there's no goal scoring right now. Trying to think to myself because I know when I brought up. Oh, that was quick to the face-off. I just lost my train of thought because the game just started again. Well, let's bring it up, boys. Get in there, Nick. Make him hold it. There you go. Get the face off. So I guess they premature went into a commercial. Now, what I was trying to think of, because I saw your comments about Couturier and the Giroux. Like when I went going back to when I said right now I don't feel like the Flyers, this is the year for them to win the cup. I think they're going to be a little bit better. I don't think it's their year yet, but I'm trying. What year does Couturier's and Giroux's contract end? Is it next year or is it 2 years from now? Wait, do these guys just not know when they're going to commercial? That was the second quickest commercial break I've ever seen. But I need to look that up when Giroux, because I know Giroux and Couturier's contract end the same exact year. I think it's not this year. It's definitely not this year. It's not next year. It might be 2 years from now. I think 23-24 is when their contracts expire. What a slow. That was a nice chance there. And they're going to go to commercial again? Like, are they actually going to go to a full-fledged commercial break? Because I don't think they knew what they were doing at those points. Unless the people on the ice didn't realize that there was supposed to be a commercial break, or like I said, that they broadcast prematurely went into commercial break. It's Yeah, but keep continuing to going back to the Giroux and Couturier contract situation. Like when I talk about the Flyers not being ready now, and I think in that 1 to 2 year range, I still think the Flyers are away from winning a cup. And they're back again? Are they having this much trouble with the commercial breaks? But I do think in that 1 to 2 year range is when you'll see the Flyers win the cup. I think. For some reason, I feel like it's going to be the final season of Couturier's and Giroux's contract. That's just my overall feeling right there. But who knows what could happen with this team? Who knows? They could win the cup this year. This could be a facade of them right now of what's to come. Maybe they'll be 10 times better as the season goes along, and they'll win the cup this year. But hey, anything can happen. Not going to put my hopes up. I'm going to be optimistic, but I'm going to try to be realistic at the same time. So Sanheim's on the bench. I don't see Phil right now, unless they're not showing him. Yeah, especially when York comes up. Honestly, I feel like the Flyers might even sign York to an entry-level contract when his season ends this year. Who knows? Maybe you'll see him at the end of the year. That's just something you got to wait for. Maybe they bring him up to start at the end of the year. Maybe he goes with the Phantoms. And yeah, York's going to be a stud for this team. York is the future top two with Provorov. And you still got a lot of the other young. You still got Bobby Brink in the mix too. Who knows? Maybe Bobby Brink signs his entry-level contract at the end of this year as well. Those two coming off their gold medal with USA. Maybe they want to get into the NHL after this season. Maybe try to at least. Provorov looks like an axe murderer the longer his beard gets. I honestly believe Provorov is the second coming of Jesus with the way his picture looks, but that's just me. I keep forgetting Eric Stahl's on Buffalo. Like, even though the many times I say it, like, I still just, like, don't realize it. But the Flyers, they look like they're controlling pace a lot more in this period. They just need to find a way to finish. Come on, skate up. Come on. 2-on-1. On Patty. How'd that not go in? Skate. I don't like this. Nice save on Elliott. Get there. Jesus Christ. I thought that puck went in. It hit the post. Oh my God. So you literally got two chances on both sides of the ice where how the hell the puck not go into the net. You got Konechny on one side and you got Dylan Cousins on the other hitting the post. Let's bring it up, boys. Come on, skate. They're not gonna win. I'm just like still in shock and awe. I'm like still in that shock and awe how that one shot by Cousins didn't go in the net. I know it hit the post, but I'm just like, how? He had a wide open net. What? Because why? And here comes the penalty on the Flyers. Yeah, Buffalo looks a lot more quicker right now. And Voracek taking the penalty. And how did you not touch the puck right there? Are we actually going to a full-fledged commercial break this time? Ugh. Very exciting stuff, though. I'll say, very exciting stuff. It's just you get all these chances on both. Oh my god. Yeah, that was a bad shift by Voracek. That was a bad shift. You just can't let them score here. You cannot. They're getting all this momentum. Do not let them score on this power play. And it's like I still think about it too. Like in the first 2 games of the season, we scored 11 goals. Like the 11 goals in 2 games. That's just like on another level. But and like, yeah, you were expecting a cool down at least in the goal scoring department. By geez, they can't finish right now. I mean, like even Buffalo, they're not finishing on the other side either. But still, yeah. I want to know something too. Did any of you that are still in the chat right now? Did you anyone partake in getting like any of the reverse retro jerseys currently? Like, do you have the like Flyers one or something like that, or did you like try to get any of the NHL teams as well? Because to me, I have at least I think 5 or 6 of them, and I just bought a 7th one today. Oh boy, time for the penalty kill. Bobby's saying they just stopped skating, got lazy, went reaching. Now we're on the penalty kill. Blows my mind how many mental mistakes they were making. Yeah, that last shift right there before the penalty was just not good. We just got to kill this off. That's the most important thing right now. Nice save, Ellie. Just called him Ellie. Should have just called him Moose. That's Jack Eichel with the puck. Off the side. I think that went off the side of the net. I'll get there. Nice save, Elliott. Nice save. Stop the bleeding a little bit. Ooh, that did Ellie get the tip of the glove on that? Yeah, I think earlier today I got the Florida Panthers reverse retro jersey. Now, oh my god, I just see in the live stream that we have 32 people currently watching right now. Like, where did we get the spike in people? Just to watch this little schmuck right here live streaming by himself. Like I could just see it like going up and down, like from 30 to 20 something. Like now it's at 25, but still, like, geez, I didn't expect it to get that high. I'm just like an old schmuck watching the Flyers game. That's a penalty right there. Come on, ref. Come on, he's literally dragging Lyle across the ice. Oh no, you got a guy wide open in the slot. Ugh. Won't get the puck off. Get there, get there. Ah. Nice save, Elliott. Nice save. Yeah, maybe he got botted. Who knows? Oh, we got another person joining right now. Ooh. And here, everyone, welcome Tyson to the live stream. How's it going, Tyson?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. I'm currently watching the Flyers right now, and Brian Elliott having to make a lot of saves.
Yes. I know I've had it on in the background while I was eating dinner with the family. So, yeah, I had it on mute, so I kept looking over my shoulder and seeing some good plays as I was watching. But I know 0-0. I mean, yesterday's game obviously wasn't great.
Skate, Kevin. Damn it.
I'm very curious to see how far behind my stream is.
Oh, you're watching a stream currently?
Well, I have an NHL TV.
Okay.
Because I'm on the West Coast. Oh yeah, so that review when you're yelling Kevin, he just did that now. So I'm a good 30 seconds behind you, it would appear.
Yeah, just overall, the game is a lot. Oh my god! Oh jeez. Brian Elliott having the sprawl across everywhere, man. But yeah, Buffalo's got the extra step in this part of the period, but overall, I still think it's a much better game than yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the game live yesterday. I went back and caught pieces of it. But I know it's interesting. Buffalo is I think I mentioned when we did our season preview how much better they are than it would appear.
Mm-hmm.
On the surface, in particular, they have these two line drivers now, Eichel and then now Hall. You got two guys that can drive their own lines. So
yeah,
they're playing together tonight. But yeah.
And just overall from that loss last night, what do you I know a lot of people were complaining about in the first three games there was a lot of sloppiness in those games, and I was gonna say there was a 2-on-1 right here, but just they managed to get away with it in the games against Pittsburgh because they outscored them and they looked a lot better. But just yesterday, Buffalo just completely outplayed them in every aspect of the game. So and also it did look a little bit that they were missing Couturier definitely on one of those lines. But just what are your overall thoughts right now, just from the first three games of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think it might sound weird, but they're trying to get used to their system again, it would appear. Growing pains as a part of that. I think that, and also I would say this too, some of the younger players that saw more sheltered minutes are now in more prominent roles. So Myers as an example of that, Farabee is an example of that. And, Frost last night making a season debut. I believe he's in again tonight, correct?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So you got guys that are both learning a system and adjusting to playing with this much consistency at the NHL. So I don't know. I think they have a good record so far. I mean, that was their first loss. 2-1 isn't terrible to start with. We'll see how the rest of tonight goes, but
yeah,
I think I'm not worried, even though it has been a little sloppy.
And I think I'm not sure. I think Myers is right now banked up still. So I'm not sure if there's anything wrong with him. I know people in the chat were saying it could be a knee, a little bit of a minor knee problem because he tried making one hit on one of the players. Yeah. So maybe there's something dealing right there because I haven't seen him on the ice since.
I hope not. He's had knee issues before. Some of those recurring ones are not great.
And I just saw Frost, I think, getting his face looked at, so maybe he got hit by something.
I'm going to try to get out of my stream here and watch it live again. See if I'm more up to date. Nope, I'm on a commercial break. Let's try the Buffalo stream.
Yep. Steven in the chat wants a dirty Flyers goal right now. I mean, definitely we can definitely use that right now.
Man, Buffalo's goalies are brutal, honestly.
Yeah.
Just in general. Allmark is barely an NHL starter, really barely. If Brian Elliott was on the Sabres, he'd be their number one. For sure. I think. So I think like in a game like this, the game plan needs to be continually just like fire pucks at the net, like create traffic, and just hammer it home. Especially if you're having a hard time. They're having a hard time, seemingly like really getting through and pushing through the neutral zone.
Here's the Myers hit again.
I have a ESPN Plus commercial with Conor McGregor.
Ooh. I hope Frost isn't hurt though. He was laboring something. Yeah, Philly 215 saying Myers, it could be a hip issue.
Oh yeah. Oh, and Frost. Oh yeah, I just saw Frost. That looks like a shoulder. That's not good.
Ugh. This is definitely Buffalo has been like, especially like Ristolainen, he's been bullying us the past 2 games.
It's all right. He can't play defense, so
yeah.
I don't know if you've ever read any of those things. Like he's played top 50 minutes in the NHL and defenseman in the last 5 years, and he has the worst numbers, like underlying numbers of all of them. Like, and a lot of that I'm sure is like the team he's been on some bad teams and stuff, but it's just brutal. Like, very much overplayed. So he can be exploited all day long. That's pretty much what he does. He takes runs at guys, chases the puck a lot, put the puck in his skates, and just kind of make him swing his stick, and he can get around him.
Yeah. It's definitely something we don't. Hopefully Frost is fine. Hopefully Myers is fine. Like we definitely don't need 2 more guys out of the lineup.
No, especially on defense. Like it's just as much as they are deep with who they have dressed, there's a pretty stark like drop off from their top 6 to like depth guys.
Yeah, because is it the extra defenseman Friedman right now?
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, and he's not terrible, but again, there's a huge drop off.
Yeah, you're going right from Phil Myers to Mark Friedman.
Yeah, Friedman I think he's maybe posted 20 points once in the AHL, right? He's a good skater, but he is a good skater. He's pretty intelligent, but he's not going to move the needle for you.
Yeah. Come on, boys. We gotta get something going right here. Just don't tell me like this is gonna be one of those games that just goes to overtime.
1-0 in overtime. It's funny how like this is pretty common early on too, where you have the first 2 games the Flyers scoring an insane amount of goals, and then now it's like where'd the offense go?
It's just like you score 11 goals combined in the first 2 games, and now you only have 1 so far in your next 2 games.
And it's weird too, is that like Mike, the Penguins historically are like Mike Sullivan is a more defensive minded coach, and Ralph Krueger.
Come on, TK, come on, scores! There we go.
Oh, I'm still a little ways behind.
There we go. I'm sorry I spoiled you, but geez, thank God we needed that.
You're fine.
You needed that.
I'm laughing because the puck's still in our zone yet. Oh, there we go. Now he's on a breakaway. There we go.
What was that? That was a turnover by. Oh, that was a nice play by Patrick.
Yeah.
Patrick to. Oh, that was a nice play. Like Nolan Patrick and Lindblom getting points on that.
Yeah, and 4 and 4 games for Konecny. They're looking pretty good.
Yep. And Steven says, "Up yours and take off your hoser."
People are coming for me, huh? That's funny.
Maybe. And some people in the comment section were saying maybe if a goal scored, maybe that opens up the floodgates a little bit because, like you said, Carter Hutton's not a good goaltender. He was just but that one save he had off JVR was just like, oh come on. I think when you score, maybe you'll start getting something more by him.
Yeah, I mean he had a sub 900 save percentage last year.
Yeah.
And I think his 5-on-5 save percentage was one of the worst of any goalies in the league.
Oof.
And if you're going to look at underlyings for goalies, I always look at that. Like, Like if you're, I think Hart's rookie year he had pretty bad save percentage on the penalty kill, but 5-on-5 it was really good. So at that point you were like, oh, was the Flyers penalty kill actually just terrible? And it was. So therefore it wasn't just his fault, right? But 5-on-5 is a little bit more definitive to say how good is this goalie actually being, and Hutton's is basically like it's not. And it's sad because I actually like Carter Hutton as a dude, and in the past he has been okay. So he just had 2 years in a row here he's struggled.
I know, like his last, like the season, like was it his final season with St. Louis where he was like way overplaying like his potential or something like that.
Yeah, he's done that a couple times. I believe he did that in Nashville too. Like just overplayed it, and I mean his contract's not terrible. It's just. But Buffalo has this one prospect that I'm really intrigued by. He has a really cool name. I'm probably going to butcher it. Jukka-Pekka Lukkinen.
I know that guy.
Yeah. And he had a really rough transition to the pros last year as a 20-year-old, but I haven't given up on him yet. And he's kind of their goalie of the future. He's only 21.
Oh, really?
So, but he's still a little ways away, I think. But he's a fun goalie to watch.
And I think I saw one of the I think it was like a Flyers like prospect guy on Twitter. Like he looks more in like the European prospects, and like Samuel Ersson. He's been having a really good season over in Sweden. Yeah,
he's had a tremendous season in Sweden. Between him and Fedotov in Russia, Fedotov is early on was tearing up the KHL. They still got some future goalie prospects there. Not that they really need one, because Carter Hart is going to be this guy for a long time.
Isn't Fedotov like 6'7"?
Yeah, he's a monster. He's kind of like Pekka Rinne light a little bit. And I mean like when Pekka Rinne was good, not whatever this year and last year Pekka Rinne was.
Oh, Flyers going to a Ristolainen and got a roughing penalty.
Nice.
What are you doing right there, bro? Riss? I'm surprised Lawton didn't get anything.
Ristolainen.
Flyers pulling the goaltender. 1 second left on the power play. Can we win a face-off? Maybe get a quick one.
Ristolainen. Whenever I see a picture of Ristolainen, he always looks like he's ready to like be a knight at the round table or something. He's
ready.
His glare, his hair, all of it. I'm like, yeah, I just need a shield and we're good to go.
He's a knight in shiny armor.
Yeah. Except not, because he's not good at hockey.
Oh god! So that's the end of the second period right there. The Flyers finally got a goal.
Is there any Sabres fans on there that want to?
No, actually, this is all Flyers fans right here.
Nice. I was like some inadvertent when people troll me inadvertently. My anti Sabres comments.
So, what are the Maple Leafs playing today, or are they off today?
They're off today. Yeah, they played yesterday. They won 3-1. So they started the season in typical Maple Leafs fashion, with like we're 3-1, and the Toronto media has already turned on them and been like, "Where are you, failures?" Because we lost one game. So, how it goes.
What are your overall thoughts on them?
I think my honest overall thoughts is I don't trust them. I like them. I like them on paper. Like for real, I like them on paper. I think that they're a very deep team, very strong team. 3 lines deep on offense. They have a pretty good top 4 defense now. That was their biggest weakness. Best top 4 in this new expression of the Leafs. We have a true number 1 goalie. But again, just I don't know. Something always happens, and you're kind of just like, okay. That's what it's like being a Leafs fan. So
now,
yeah.
Do you like Frederik Andersen? Because I know there's a lot of Leafs fans that trash him.
No, I like him. I think the hard thing with him is that every year he plays way too much. In particular, is what it's been. We've been our heavy analytics GM the last couple of years. His strategy has been like, I don't want to pay my backup any money, just like league minimum wage. And so we're just going to play Anderson. And then 3 consecutive first round exits in a row. just kind of lead you to be like, okay, something's got to give, right? So, so that's why we got Jack Campbell last year to kind of relieve like a backup that could play more than like 15 games or whatever, and that sort of thing.
Steven put it in, the Maple Leafs were the team of the future like 4 years ago.
Yeah, I know the window's closing is already, and I always laugh at that when people are like, "Oh, we're still so young in the team." I'm like, "No, we should have been there last year. Like last year was the first year where it was like we should have been a contender."
I think the what was it like 18, 19? Like what was the last time that Toronto lost in the first round to Boston, where they were up 3-2 and they lost it in 7?
2013.
Or was it 2018-19 when they were up?
Oh, you might
they
be right. It's funny as I blocked all that from my memory intentionally. I mean, the worst one was when we were down to Boston like 3-1, came back, we're winning in Game 7. Phil Kessel enough days.
Oh God!
In the lockout shortened season. I guess that was 2013-14. Yeah, when the Blackhawks won. And, we lost in overtime and let in 3 goals in the last, 7 minutes of the game to lose it. It's like the most Leafs thing ever.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's the one, game that's always, going to haunt Leafs fans for, the rest of their lives.
Yep.
Just because of what happened.
Yeah. And that's why none of us trust the Leafs, honestly. For real. That's why when we're looking at the team, ESPN picked them to win the cup this year.
Oh my God!
And I'm looking at their team on paper, and I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, we should be right there. I mean, how many teams have the 1-2 punch now of Matthews and Tavares up in the middle? 2 top 10 centers in the league. It used to be Crosby, Malkin. They both kind of taken a step back. They're a little bit older, but Tampa has Stamkos and Braden Point. That's a pretty good 1-2 combo. But again, they're right up there. Our defense is the biggest issue. Riley is decent. We just added TJ Brody's been decent in the past. Jake Muzzin. 3 decent, defensemen. Again, no superstars really there, but again, 3 solid guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's true number 1 and Anderson. So you have that mixture. There's no reason why we can't. It's just we don't. That's not something we do. We don't win. So
Maple Leafs don't win playoff series.
Right, and you can't qualify it. That's the crazy thing. You can't measure, I don't know, whatever it is. And that's why they did a little bit of a different spin this year with trying bringing in Wayne Simmons and Joe Thornton, and Zach Bogosian.
And Philly 215 saying JVR was still in that Leafs team that lost against Boston.
Yeah. He was on there. There was a line. It was JVR, Tyler Bozak, and Phil Kessel.
Oh God!
And that was when, I don't know, we had a 6-year period when Tyler Bozak was the Leafs' number 1 center, which was highly, highly depressing. But I was very happy for him when he signed with St. Louis and got to be the 3rd-line center and won a cup.
Yeah.
So that was nice to see because he was never terrible. It was just you're not a number 1 center, dude.
You're not a number 1 guy.
Yeah, that's okay. You're a 40-point guy. It's fine. Yeah.
Steven bringing up case in point the 2003 playoffs classic versus the Flyers.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
See, it's I'm too young to remember all these playoff series, back in the early 2000s, because in 2003, 2004, I was maybe 5 or 6, I think.
That's funny. Yeah, I was in high school, so I remember those fondly. And again, that was around the same era too. That was the Ty Domi falls in the penalty box and fights a Flyers fan. You guys remember that? So that was an epic one. It's funny seeing Scott Hartnell on television right now.
It is,
especially without a beard, or I don't know what he's got going on there.
It's funny, the first true hockey moment that I fully remember is going back. It was during the 04-05 lockout. That was when they just completely weren't playing at all. And then the Philadelphia Phantoms, they were the team that would be either playing in the Spectrum or the Wachovia Center. And then that team went on to win the Calder Cup that year.
Yeah.
They had players who was it? They had young RJ Almberger. They had Antero Niittymaki, who was at that time the Flyers' future goaltender.
I remember that.
They also had who else? They had Patrick Sharp. They had Jeff Carter and Mike Richards coming over to them from the juniors.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that. That was insane. I think Mike Richards actually won an OHL championship that year too.
He did.
Yeah, either that or it was the year before, and then it was just like it was insane. It was like he was MVP of both playoffs within like a year, either the same year of a year of each other when he was like 19. It was insane.
Yeah, and I know I'm trying to remember other players that were, I think, like John Sims was on that team. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember players that were on that Phantoms team. I know John Slaney, who's like probably one of the best Phantoms defensemen in history.
Yeah, he's one of the highest point getting AHL defensemen in history, I think.
Yeah. Then I think Neil Little was the Phantoms backup that year.
Neil Little, I think, used to have the games played record for AHL goalies too. Yeah, that Phantoms team had a lot of those legendary AHL guys on it too.
Yeah.
So a good mix of veterans and the young guys. Forgot about Umberger.
Yeah, when Umberger first came up, he was good, but then just like as the years went along, it was just like, okay. Then they traded him away to Columbus.
Yep.
No, because I remember like in that 07-08 series against Montreal, he was scoring left and right. I'm like, RJ Umberger, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that Patrick Sharp trade with the Blackhawks has got to be one of the worst ones in Flyers history, I think. It's up there.
Yeah. And I think every time my dad tells me like why that trade happened was Ken Hitchcock didn't like Patrick Sharp.
Yep.
I think that was the main reason why he traded him.
And he hadn't really done anything yet, on the Blackhawks. Like I lived in Chicago at the time when that trade happened, and I had a bunch of autograph stuff because they do these meet and greets, and he was getting scratched occasionally when he first got traded there even too, and he'd just be hanging out signing autographs, and you're kind of like, who's this guy? Oh, he's got, he played 4 years college, whatever. He's not really that big of a deal. He just kind of came over for a late round draft pick from the Flyers. Blackhawks were tanking intentionally. Then they just needed warm bodies basically, and he signed an autograph or whatever. And then within a year, you're like, oh, this guy's pretty good. And then you get down the line and you're like, oh wait, he won how many cups? 3,
yes.
And he's a key part of this, and was in their huge core, and is now like, I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but he's a really good player for
Chicago.
For a long. Yeah, I mean, he was incredible.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's just like that entire run by the Phantoms that year. I just remember being in the Wachovia Center, because I know that it was like, I know they played like Wilkes-Barre in one of the rounds. I know they played Norfolk or something like that. I knew they played Chicago in the final round. So and I think
back when they were the Thrashers affiliate, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And
I used to go to Wolves games all the time.
Yeah, I think was it Kari Lehtinen was their goaltender at that point or something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Funny story in the playoffs that year. It would have been the playoffs that year, I think. I got hit in the face by a T-shirt cannon and knocked back 3 seats at a Wolves game. And it was on the Jumbotron. It was pretty funny. I misjudged it. Hit me right square between the eyes.
We got some other comments right here talking about their best. So Bobby says his best Flyers moment was when Gagne scored the overtime winner in Game 6 against Tampa Bay. At the point, I was 15 and completely in love with the sport. I was only 8 during the 97 Cup run.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we have Steven saying his best Flyers moment was being at Game 6 in the 87 finals. I'm still missing hair cells in my ear. It still itches to this day.
Nice. Man.
Yeah, no, and Steven brought up like an interesting point too, because he made me ask my father about this. So maybe you would have an answer to this too. So he brought up like during the Flyers Cup runs in 85 and 87, like specifically in 87, if Tim Kerr and Dave Poulin weren't injured during those series, do you think the Flyers would have beaten Edmonton?
Ooh. My gut says no. As much as those guys were great, Dave Poulin was great. Not as a Leafs executive, he was terrible. But as a player, he was great. Yeah, and legendary in Notre Dame circles, and when I lived in the Chicago area, a lot of people really liked Dave Poulin for those reasons. But yeah, I mean, that's a tough one because again, Gretzky, Messier, Curry, Glenn Anderson, Kevin Lowe, Paul Coffey, all these Hall of Famers, Grant Fuhrer, Andy Moog, like just the ones that I'm just thinking off the top of my head, and there was others, right? Charlie Huddy. Yeah, I don't know. I think Dave Poulin gets asked that too quite a bit, actually. I listen to Leafs Lunch a lot, which is a program he's on with regularity in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been asked that question, and he usually kind of skirts around it a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. I think that team was just too good. Those teams are too good.
Yeah, and that's like one of the things too. Like I'm trying to think of like other because my dad said like they were just like because they were down 3-1 in that series and they had to fight their way back to get the Game 7. My dad just said they were just dead tired in Game 7. Yeah. Like they just didn't have it.
Yeah, and Kerr was obviously like their best offensive guy, one of their best during that era. And Poulin was obviously like a really well-rounded two-way player. Everybody knew at the time. So I think there was maybe a shot that he could have shut down at least one of those lines over time. But again, they just could roll 3 deep on that Oilers team and would just kill it.
Yeah, because Steven also brought up a point too, like how he compares this year, like this Flyers team right now to the team that was, I think, in '85. He thinks right now that Sean Couturier is the Dave Poulin of today's Flyers because of how young this team is.
Yeah, I think sorry, go ahead.
And like how Dave Poulin, I guess, like he was just how young that team was too. Just like Dave Poulin was like the older guy and the leader for that team.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I think that's a decent comparison. I do actually think Coots is a better player overall comparing career, but I think the comparison makes a lot of sense.
We have
I got about 2 minutes and then I got to bounce, unfortunately.
Gotcha. We got Jonathan saying, I want to see a fight this game. Buffalo taking liberties and I don't like it.
I'm curious who's going to fight for the Flyers though right now.
Yeah. Then he says Steven put Tim Kerr still has the NHL record for most power play goals in a season. That was the difference.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
And then Philly 215 saying those Oilers teams are still considered the best teams in hockey.
Yeah, I have all these old pictures from the 80s up in my son's room. I'm sure he's looking at them and being like, I don't understand because he's 3. But I have all these old cards from my era too. I have a box of them that I've just kept from those Oilers years. So I was obsessed with those teams. I mean, Gretzky was already gone by the time I really started paying attention when I was old enough, but I still just have gone back through and watched so much because of just how incredible those teams were. So
yeah, it's like where I was like too young, and like I was like 9. I was born a year after they lost to Detroit in the finals, and then I think I was 2 years old when they blew to 3-1 series lead to the Devils in the conference finals.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was like when I saw it was like so many years of the Flyers being like one of the better teams in the league, then they would lose in the first round or something like that. Then they lose in the first round to Toronto in one of those early years in the 2000s too.
I believe so, if my memory serves correctly. Those are some epic series though. Like some of them were bloodbaths in those early 2000s. Like, yeah, Leafs Flyers was definitely a rivalry. I mean, I remember thinking like Leafs fans were not a fan of Flyers, like of the Flyers at all. So I never felt the hatred. I always had a lot of respect because I was a Bobby Clark fan. So there was a lot of things about the Flyers as a team, and I've been to Philly, the city, and I got a lot of respect for the city. I think it's one of the coolest, toughest. Like everything that gets said about it in the public sphere, I'm like, no, it's actually right. Unlike other cities I've been to, sometimes I'm like, it's overrated. Philly was not overrated. Not in the slightest. So
yeah, it's funny too. Like when you say like you have more respect for like the Flyers, like back in the day, it's like funny when I talk to like just like other people on the random that are fans of other teams, they will always like have to comment like, "Why are you a Flyers fan?" I'm just like, why are you this fan?
Right.
It's just. I feel like there's just like this overlying hate that a lot of teams don't like the Flyers for some odd reason.
See, I feel like that's what the Penguins are. That's how I approach the Penguins and most Pittsburgh sports teams. And I'm not even supposed to hate them, any of the teams that I like. I'm just like...
You just do.
Yeah, I just do. I never like Crosby as much as I should. I think that's half of it. All right.
And
Well,
like,
unfortunately, I got to bounce.
gotcha.
But glad I could jump on for a bit.
Yeah,
Catch up.
definitely.
So,
Yeah, definitely.
all
I'll
right.
talk to you later, Tyson.
Yep. Go Flyers.
Yep. Hopefully they win this. Yeah, that was some fun stuff right there with Tyson. Definitely go check him out on Twitter at Quietbell Tyson. He does a lot of prospect reports for the Painted Line, so he's really good with the prospects in the NHL. He's very knowledgeable about that. So definitely go check him out. And then Philly 215 talking about some of the bloodbaths with the years with the Leafs and the Devils. Yeah, those early years when the Flyers played the Devils and the Leafs a lot, there were a lot of bloodbaths. And then Steven talking about, I may be the only Flyers fan on this planet that feels this way, but I can't bring myself to hate Scott Stevens. I mean, that's understandable. I can't hate Scott Stevens because I didn't grow up watching him. I wasn't old enough to remember what he did to Eric Lindros in the in that game 7. So, it looks like Buffalo just put their backup into the net. So I wonder if Carter Hutton's injured, actually. Interesting things right there. Wonder if that's a benefit for the Flyers. Oh yeah, I remember we lost to Ottawa maybe 1 year in one series, and then freaking we had Tampa Bay in the Eastern Conference Finals. Ruslan Fedotenko destroying us, and that was probably one of the more regrettable moves by the Flyers, getting rid of Fedotenko, because it eventually came back to haunt them. Okay, we got third period action, boys. Flyers, I think, starting on a power play. Yeah, power play right here. So let's just they just put a new goaltender into the net. I would assume Carter Hutton's injured after what happened with that Provorov play. Take advantage of this. Throw pucks on net. He's rusty. Just try to do everything you can to get a goal. Don't play with it so much. Throw the puck onto the net. Get traffic. Put the pucks onto the net. Damn it. You think Stevens did the Flyers a favor? You think the Flyers would have lost to the Stars that year? I mean, I wouldn't know that, so because, like I said, I was way too young to even remember those times. Now, Steven, I want to ask you this question too. Like, for the '97 finals, do you think instead of Detroit, if it was Colorado, do you think the Flyers would have had a better chance against Colorado than Detroit, or do you still think it probably would have ended the same way? Well, that was a very uneventful power play. We gotta get an extra one here, boys. You think Colorado would have taken that in 6 games? Understandable. Because I wouldn't know, because I know Colorado was one of the more dominant teams back then, them and Detroit and the Devils. I just wanted to know how you think the Flyers would fare against Colorado more than Detroit, because we all know what happened against that. I guess from the looks of it, maybe they're not going to return to this game. I should honestly check that on Twitter, see if they mention anything about Frost or Myers. I would assume they're not. Come on, Sanheim. Sanheim. Get it deep. There you go. We got to find a way to generate some chances here. Come on, Limbo. Oh, he's literally tugging him down. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. I would assume the Flyers say that yeah, Bill Meltzer just said Frost is not back out there, and I'm assuming Phil Myers isn't out there either. So hopefully this is just all precautionary. I think the Frost situation looked a lot worse than Phil Myers, so just hopefully there's nothing bad. Just hopefully, because that's definitely not something we need right now. We lost Coots. We don't need to lose Myers or Frost. Because if you lose Frost, he was the guy that came in to replace Couturier. Now, if Frost has to miss the lineup the next couple of days, next couple of games, that means you put Connor Bunnerman in, and you probably got to call someone else up from the taxi squad to be that extra forward. Come on, Joel. Well, Jake, drive the net. Oh my God. I really hope this situation with Frost and Myers isn't serious, because that's something we don't need. Like, that's just how unlucky it is to start off a season. Yeah, it was just the way Frost got up, the way he was just lingering over, holding his arm. That's just what makes me a little nervous. I just hope it's not nothing like too serious right now, and maybe he just needs an extra day off. Because this team right now just can't afford any more injuries. Hopefully Myers isn't serious. Hopefully he just needs a day of rest. Like, hopefully they just took him out for a precautionary reason. On the face-off. Come on, Hayes. Come on, he doesn't have a stick. Decent chance. I wish it would went in, though. Yeah, Philly 215. That would be our luck. That would definitely be our luck. If someone went down, if multiple people went down with injuries. Yeah, like I said, Steven, just hopefully it's nothing too serious. Looked like Buffalo was complaining why wasn't there a penalty called in that play. Honestly, yeah, there is an argument. JVR literally just did take the entire stick out of his hand. Oof. Nice deflection there. Well, boys, continue the battle. Continue the battle. Make them hold it. There you go. We're getting a lot of chances, though. I like that. I mean, right now, the backup for Buffalo, he was a guy from their taxi squad because the backup that was backing up Hutton, I think he got injured or something, or he wasn't able to make this trip. So that's why this guy is backing up Hutton. So basically, this is an AHL caliber goaltender backing up Hutton. But knowing the Flyers over the so many years that I've been a fan of them, they are the team that when they face an unknown goaltender that honestly isn't a good goaltender, that goaltender will have the game of his life. That's just been the Flyers' MO for so long. I just like remember it's like during the years the Blue won, well, the 2 years ago when the Blues won the Cup. Man, that's already been 2 years ago. Jeez. It's just when I think it was like during December or something when the Flyers first played the Blues at home, and Jordan Binnington had his first start during that season and got the shutout against the Flyers. At that point, Binnington was literally their sixth-string goaltender. Comes in, gets a shutout, and the Blues go on a hell of a ride to win the Stanley Cup. Yeah, I really hope this Myers situation isn't worse than what Frost is, because the hip is it's not something you want to joke around with. So I really hope it's not serious. Because now if Myers has to be out for so many games, that means Friedman's going to slot into the lineup and just like more adjustment right there. Then if you lose Frost, that means Bunneman's going to have to come into the lineup. And then you're going to have to call someone else up as an extra forward for the taxi squad. You're probably going to have to call up an extra defenseman from the taxi squad. Because right now Ghost isn't on the roster, and it doesn't look like he's going to be returning anytime soon. Because who knows, because he was on the COVID list, who knows how much longer he has to be out because of that situation. Oh, God, here comes Buffalo. Nice strip right there. Come on, bring it up. Let's go. Come on, Patty. Get it deep. And not deep enough. But I do want an extra insurance goal, though. We need it. Because, like I said, this is going to be a tough. Like I said yesterday, this is going to be a tough stretch for the Flyers coming up. Insanely tough stretch. They got Boston the next 2 games. They play them Thursday and Saturday. Then I think it's next Tuesday and Thursday they play the Devils. I think all 4 of those games are on the road. And then the final 2 days of the month, the 30th and the 31st, they play the New York Islanders at home. So that's going to be a really tough stretch for them, especially when they have so many guys injured. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Still getting outshot, but it's still more. I would still, the Flyers still haven't surpassed 30 shots this year, only in these first 4 games. We need to find a way to get more shots onto the net. Because the shots are 30 to 23 in favor of Buffalo right now. They do need to find a way to shoot more. Well, they just need to shoot more. I just really hope that this situation, like I'm going to keep saying this the rest of the night. I really hope this situation with Myers and Frost isn't that serious, but knowing this team, it's going to be. Knowing this team's luck. One Provy. Get in there. There you go. Oof. If there was just someone waiting in the slot, man. Well, get there. Gotta skate there, Sanheim. Yeah, but if this situation... Oh, jeez. If this Myers injury is serious and Elaine Vigneault needs to shake up the defensive core a little bit, you're going to see Friedman slotted in there. Honestly, I would expect maybe you put Sanheim on that top pairing with Provorov, and maybe you put... it's tough to say. Maybe you put Friedman on the bottom pairing. It's really tough to say. Maybe you put Friedman with Haig, then you maybe put Gustafsson with Braun. Oh my god! Just thinking of that pairing just makes me want to throw up. That pairing idea makes me want to throw up. Thinking of, I don't know why I said it. Yes, they did switch more into a winger. They did. Who knows? Maybe in an emergency situation, Morin goes back to playing defense. But I guess for him to have a better, even though at this point, for him to have the better chance to even make the team, it would be a forward at the forward position. But just like, who knows? Whew. My earphones made a little bit of a popping noise. Did not like that. Oh, boys, got to win these battles behind the net. Oh, boy. Come on, push up. Come on. Get over there. Come on. Nice. That was a terrible pass. Hey, get in deep. Come on, Kevin. Go it. Oh, my God. There was nothing on that shot. Yeah, hopefully there's nothing wrong when I take these earbuds out. Earbuds are making a weird noise. Honestly, I don't need them right now, though. At least we don't have to put in Oliver Lauritsen. So, third period, a little bit of back and forth. Flyers have had some chances. Buffalo's had their chances. Right now, the Flyers, it looks like they're trying to play that shutdown game in the third period where they normally do, going back to last season. So that's something that's still like a good sign, is that they're continuing some of their plays from last year, where they try to play the right game in the third period. They try to play defensively. They try to make the simpler plays, which it looks like they are trying to do. So that's one of the good signs. Or the Flyers don't have to put in Lucas Krejcik or Oscar Bartulas. Oh boy, those are blasts from the past. Please don't put the Toyota turning point on right now. Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, this line of Lindblom, Patrick, and how do we make it to the finals with that slop? Oh my. It was funny too. I think during that 2010 finals, I don't even think Bartulis and Krychek were even played that much. I think you mainly saw guys like Pronger, Tiemann, and Coburn and Carl. I think those guys were the four that mainly played. Well, hold, there you go. Come on, skate up, boys. Oh! Damn it. Patrick almost had it right there. Come on, Patty. Hit it deep. There you go. If they're getting their chances, they need to finish, though. This is a guy that hasn't seen action at all this season, and you have to find a way to bury one. Nice save, Elliott. And the one thing I would say, too, with some of the matchups that are coming up, like especially against Boston, I know they're having a trouble scoring right now, especially because I think they haven't scored a 5-on-5 goal yet. I think all of their goals have come from special teams. So that's something to look forward to there. But then also Boston's still just a very dangerous team. How did this not go in? Oh, the goaltender got a piece of it with the glove. Oof. But just like Boston, I do feel like they are a weaker team. But like they're still the Boston Bruins. You got work. They still have Marchand. They still have Bergeron. They still have McAvoy. They have Charlie Coyle. They have their pieces. They're definitely not as dangerous because they lost 2 defensemen in the offseason. But they're still definitely a team to watch out for. They don't have Pastrnak either because he's still injured. And I don't think he's expected back until somewhere in February. So, and also Boston, they still have Tuukka Rask and Jaroslav Halak. They're one of the best goaltending tandems in the league. So it's going to be a tough matchup this week. Well, this weekend. Right now, you're having two teams that are struggling to score with the Flyers and the Bruins. Even though it's still weird saying the Flyers are struggling to score because the first 2 games of the season they scored 11 goals. But now, like in these past 2 games, we've only scored 2 goals as of now. Nice play, Sanheim. Ooh, for the point. Nice play. Got it out. Wasn't out enough. Come on, boys. On Provi. Gotta get it. Go. It's a nice thing, though. Nice. Real nice. Flyers reverse retro collection. Custom jerseys are available at the Wells Fargo Center store. Shop.wfcphilly.com. Already got my reverse retro jersey. It's currently in my closet. Oh yeah, and that reverse retro jersey that I said I bought earlier today, that's the Florida Panthers reverse retro jersey. I'm still surprised that was in stock because that's one of the more nicer jerseys of the collection. And like I'm still definitely planning to get a couple more of the reverse retro jerseys. I think I want Calgary's because I just like the Blasty jersey, and I'm dying to get a Capitals one, but sadly the Capitals, they were the one that sold out the quickest. And hopefully there is a restock. I know a lot of people saying that it's not going to be restocked, but with the way they sold this season, hopefully they do. Yeah, I think the collection that I have right now that's in my closet, it's the first one I got was the Quebec Nordiques. Then I got the Los Angeles Kings one. I'm trying to remember what else. I got the Flyers and the Vancouver Canucks one. What other reverse retros did I get? Oh yeah, I'm still waiting for Tampa Bay's. Tampa Bay's is coming in the mail through FedEx. If like I ordered it in December and it shipped like maybe like a week or so ago. That's how long it took for it to ship. And then yeah, so I think it's 6 in total. It's the other 2 that are coming in are Tampa's and Florida's. Come on, Kevin. Come on, Heaven. Score! There we go. Jake gets his first goal of the season. 2-0. I like it. Gritty has his own doll. Honestly, the amount of time Jake was waiting to take that shot, I thought it wasn't going to go in, but he found it. And that comes right off Elliott making that save. There you go. That's the goal cushion that I wanted. Ooh, the goalie got a piece of that, though. Yep, he got a piece of that. I think it went through his arm. Yep, went under his arm. That's a good thing for Chris, too. Voracek is his favorite player. So Voracek scores in this first game as a media member. Come on, Scotty. There's one thing, too. I really like this 4th line for the Flyers. I think it's a really good 4th line in Albie, Kubel, and Raffle. Like, these guys have, like, some, like, weird chemistry, but it works. It's like 3 of them are gritty players. They get on the forecheck, and they find a way. They find a way to score, and the Flyers just take a penalty right there. Oh, my God. I swear to God. I'm waiting to see if there's a penalty. I guess we're not going to find out now. Yep. Oh, it was a puck to the face. Okay, I was hoping it wasn't a penalty. Yeah, because I saw him bleeding a lot right there. I was like, oh my God. That was either that was a puck to the face or it was just like a heavy stick. But I want to see if Chris actually tweeted something on the game because I'm not sure if he's been tweeting the entire game. He might have been, but yep. Yeah, Chris has been a little bit, but he just posted about the I'm currently texting people back and forth right now. Yeah, because Yeah, I definitely agree with you right there, Philly. Just the fourth line has been probably the best line in the entire season. Like this first 4 games so far, they have been. And Raffle is so unsung hero material. Yeah, Raffle, he's a great player. He can play all around the lineup, and he can basically just he's your utility guy. He's like that one guy in baseball that can play anywhere on the field. That's basically what Raffle is. He can play anywhere in the lineup. Nice play, JVR. For once, I can actually say that was a nice play by JVR. Okay, we got 4 minutes left. You definitely expect Buffalo to pull the goaltender around the 2-minute mark. So let's keep them on their toes here, boys. Come on. Come on, battle there, Oscar. And keep it. Stay with it. Stay with it. Yeah. TK. There you go, Lindblom. Battle. Oof. Okay, skate back. Get back. Skate, Sanheim. Come on. Ah. Come on, Jake. Let's get up. Come on, Joel. I wish he didn't do that little stutter step. If he just kept skating around the net, he probably would have had a better chance. Scotty. Yeah, Farabee has been good, I think, this game. Come on, boys. Get over there. Come on. 3 minutes left. Well, 3:10, but basically 3 minutes. Let's get up. Come on. Come on, Scotty. Scotty, you should have stuck with that. Yeah, definitely expect Buffalo to pull their goalie soon. Maybe even on this face-off. Nice save there by Elliott, though. It's like overall, it's still a weird feeling that like I know Tyson joined for a little bit, but majority of the stream it's been basically me. But I thank you for everyone that has stuck around the entire time, especially some of the people that most likely have been there the entire time. Steven, I know you've been here the entire time. Philly, you've been here, I think, majority of the time. And I just got an update on one of my jerseys that just got shipped. Now it's in transit. Yep, Buffalo pulled their goalie. Let's try to get an empty one, boys. Elliott, shoot it. No. Come on, get there, Patty. Get it in there. Nice play, Konechny. I like that. Ooh, I like what this line's doing, though. That forecheck by this Patrick line was good on that shift. Get there, Jake. Go in! Yeah! Was that Hayes? There you go, Steven. I know you said you need a little more out of Hayes. There's your empty netter by him. How did he just like backhand this in? Yeah, he did. He literally just flung it. Come on, Pat Stats. Come on, let's get another one. Well, there, it's good for Chris. It's good for Chris. It's good for Chris. His first day as a media member. Flyers gonna win. Come on, boys. Let's preserve this shutout for Moose. Preserve it. How did he still make that save? Boys, you can't be saying shutout in the chat. You can't be saying shutout in the chat because that's like the one thing you don't want to say when a goalie is pinching one. You can't say that until it happens. But hopefully it does. That's like the one rule. I need to see 15 seconds. Hopefully that's where the game ends right there. Let me get the stats a little bit for this. Okay, so the Flyers do have 30 shots in this game. That's what I like. Okay, 2 seconds, 1. That's your game. That is your game, boys. Let me just see the full stats on 39 shots for whew. So Buffalo looks like they have 40 shots. Yeah, Buffalo had 40 shots. It's a 40 save shutout for Brian Elliott. Fantastic performance. Fantastic performance. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to do a quick post-game recap. It's not going to be that long at all. Definitely stick around. I'm just going to do something real quickly. So stick tuned, and I'll be right back. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Flyers versus Sabres post-game recap of this watch party. And just overall, thank you for joining. I know it was basically myself the entire time. Tyson joined us for a little bit there during the intermission, but it was a very entertaining game. The Flyers get the victory. They bounced back from last night's terrible performance. They beat the Buffalo Sabres 3-0. Brian Elliott with a 40-save shutout. Brian Elliott was fantastic tonight. Brian Elliott was one of the main reasons the Flyers won this game. He was probably the main reason the Flyers won this game. I know there was someone from the comment section that said Brian Elliott was going to make a huge save to prevent the Sabres from scoring. He especially did that in the first period, just sprawling out to make the saves. Brian Elliott was fantastic tonight. And a little bit of some scary situations as well. Morgan Frost and Phil Myers, they both go down and don't return to the game. Phil Myers, it sounds like it might be a hip issue. With Morgan Frost, it might be a shoulder issue. Frost, you can see he was lingering a little bit right there when he went to the bench, and then he'd eventually left the game. Phil Myers, you really didn't see anything right there. You just see him, just the broadcast talk about him not being on the bench. So that's something we're going to have to stick with over this next couple of days. And I definitely know that Elaine Vigneault is going to be asked that during the press conference, like what the situation is going on with Phil Myers and Morgan Frost. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. And just the Flyers just bouncing back from last night. They get 3 goals on the night. Their first goal coming from Travis Konechny, getting a breakaway and just putting it 5-hole right past Carter Hutton to make it a 1-0 Flyers lead. And then Jake Voracek getting a tally late in the third period on a nice pass from Kevin Hayes to make it 2-0 Flyers. And then Kevin Hayes just finishes off the game, just literally just flings a puck down the ice and it goes into the empty nets. And that is your game right there. Flyers win 3-0. Brian Elliott is definitely the standout star of tonight's game. 40 save shutout. Absolutely fantastic for Brian Elliott. Just there's like not enough that you can say about Brian Elliott tonight. He was the main reason that the Flyers were in this game. Making all of those saves where he just kept the Flyers in the game. He did. And just the way he played today. And it also, like, there were moments the Flyers definitely looked a lot better today. Without a doubt. Looked 10 times better than they did yesterday. There were a few moments when they would turn the puck over, but it wasn't as drastic as it was yesterday. So maybe this is still the Flyers team from last season where they would bounce back from a bad loss. Maybe what Elaine Vigneault said yesterday about being embarrassed last night. Maybe that worked the guys up a little bit, that this last night's game didn't sit well in with them. They come out today. They play a lot better game. There's still a little bit of mishaps here and there, but it was a 10 times better game, 100 times better, matter of fact. They get the 3-0 shutout. Brian Elliott plays fantastic, and it's just it's a good feeling right now. The Flyers are now 3-1 on the season, and now they're going to play this weekend. They're going to go on a 4-game road trip. Their next 2 games are going to be up against the Boston Bruins Thursday and Saturday. Both of those are 7 o'clock games. And then I think next Tuesday and next Thursday are going to be up against the New Jersey Devils in New Jersey. And then the Flyers will close out the month of January with back-to-back games at home against the New York Islanders. So this is going to be a tough stretch right now. You're still going to be without Sean Couturier for the next few weeks or so. And then right now we don't know the situation with Phil Myers and Morgan Frost. If those guys are going to miss a little bit of time, I would definitely expect to see a guy like Mark Friedman take a slot, just fill in that extra defensive spot right there. And then also for the fact that if Morgan Frost misses a few games, we called up Connor Bunneman from the taxi squad, and he most likely will fill in for Morgan Frost if he does miss a little bit of time. So really great game by the Flyers. Really great bounce back performance by them. 3-0 shutout. Brian Elliott with 40 saves on the night. Absolutely fantastic. Much better feeling than last night. And I know we can all go to sleep a lot more easier now. The Flyers are now 3-1 on the season after the first 4 games. A lot better performance tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. And you can definitely go follow me on Twitter at Amadeo Gracia 98. Definitely go check me out on YouTube at TTP Sports. And just go subscribe to everything that is the Painted Lions, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, just everything. We have so many things that are going on with the Painted Lions right now. I would expect everything with the Sixers that's going to happen tomorrow. I think they are playing a game tomorrow, so definitely expect a watch party for the Sixers here on the Painted Lions. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for everything else here. And stay tuned for another episode of the Flyer Up Podcast. We'll definitely get one out maybe tomorrow or the day. Try to get one out before the Boston series starts, so stay tuned to that. And just thank you for everyone for joining this live stream. Just thank you. I know it was just me the entire time. We rode the entire ship from this game. Tyson joined us for a little bit right there. But it was a fun night. Definitely a fun night. And just like I said, I can't thank more than enough for people that stuck around just watching the schmuck, watching the Flyers game the entire time. So thank you for joining. Good Flyers win. Brian Elliott gets the shutout. Let's move on to Boston, everyone. Let's go Flyers.